Hi everyone, welcome to your horoscope. Today we're going to talk about a transit which is called Mercury Retrograde. I'm sure many of you are aware of it because it's a very common transit. It happens 3 times a year, every year. So every year for 22 days, 3 times a year, we have this planet move in a direction different from its regular path. Mercury as a planet rules our business communication, our transportation devices, our telephone devices, our communication devices, and our business transactions and interactions with each other. So when the planet that rules all of this starts moving in the direction opposite to its regular path, or it appears to be moving opposite to its regular path, those very things that it rules, they start moving in a different direction as well. We see a different side of our business communication. We see a different side of the things that we have said to others. We see a different side of the information that we have gathered over the course of last 3 months. It is sort of our mental downtime to reconsider things, to re-introspect, to figure out the events of past 3 months. Why did they happen and what do I need to do going ahead? It sort of takes a step back. Whenever something important is about to happen in our life, Mercury takes a step back. This is especially true if Mercury is very dominant in your chart. For example, for Virgos and for Geminis, or if Mercury is highlighted in your 10th house, in your 4th house, in your 1st house, or in your 7th house, on your cusp, you'll find that Mercury as a planet, when it takes this downtime, you feel that you need to take a step back. And from now till 25th of February, you'll find yourself in some amount of uncertainty, some amount of cloud, some amount of sort of brakes have been put on forward progress, because we are being told to look at a certain set of information, a certain side of things that we did not see before. Our right brain comes into action during this time. Right brain rules creativity. It rules looking at things from intuition, from subconscious, from soft lens. We look at things in a different perspective than we do when we are using our left brain. Left brain is all about analyticals. It's about looking at quant, looking at numbers, looking at figures, not having any faith in our future, but looking at just the facts that we have right now versus looking at what it could become. So when this right brain comes into action, if we try to do things using our left brain, things will not move forward in the direction we want them to go. Because we are being told by the cosmos that let things come to surface. It wants us to curtail forward push especially on new projects till 25th of February at the very least, because there is certain amount of information that we have missed out that is about to come to surface during this time. On 10th of January, we had a superior conjunction when Sun and Mercury came together, and that was, if you remember, that was also the time when we had the first solar eclipse of this year, first lunar eclipse, of this year, when we had the full moon. And we had a full face of Mercury. I spoke about it in the eclipse video as well. That was the time when things came to maturity. Things started coming to light. Things started coming to its conclusion. Things that were hidden from us, they started coming to light. Results started coming up. News started coming up. And if you remember, that is where the news circle picked up huge amount of momentum around that eclipse. And Mercury was very much the part of that, because Mercury is all about information. It's about news. It's about things coming out to surface that were hidden before. So when Mercury goes retrograde, we are given a little bit of downtime, or we are forced to review conditions that have come up since then. Because we are trying to understand the why when this happens. Why did we react in a certain fashion? Why are things the way they are? So in this time, you will see things, or you will see the reasoning that you did not see before. You'll uncover issues related to the house where Mercury currently is transiting for you. There will be unresolved issues or gifts in that house that you would be able to unlock. There is a pause that is essential for us to be able to do that. things will break. There will be a little bit of things not going in the direction we want to, because we'll be forcing action. So if you force action, you'll find that you would make errors. If you try to speed, you'll find that there will be resistance to the speed. Because the cosmos want us to go in slow motion, because they want us to realize certain things that we have not realized so far. Mercury is related to mind, but when Mercury goes retrograde, our subconscious mind, the information that we normally don't see on a day-to-day basis, comes to surface. Sometimes past comes to surface as well. So there could be people from your past that come back. There could be circumstances, exact same circumstances from the past. They could come back right now for you to look at, because Mercury retrograde or any retrograde is a period of growth. And Mercury retrograde in water sign, which we're having right now, is a part of our emotional growth. How do we react to certain situations? How do we connect with other people? How do we love? How do we emote? How do we use our creativity in our work? Mercury in Pisces is not so much about go-getting. It's not about achievement. It's about achievement in a different form. It's about achievement in being able to do what you truly want. It raises our inner consciousness. It's about dreams. It's about idealistic view of your life as you want it to be. It wants you to be more open to possibilities. It wants you to be open to your own creative inspirations. It wants you to be open to a different way of thinking, all inclusive to the set of people who might be thinking different from you. It wants you to rely on your imagination and intuition. It wants you to be in line, in tune with your emotions. You will be better off right now expressing your ideas with visuals, with emotions, making decisions on intuition, because it has raised a different side of your psyche that you are normally not using. And it enhances the idealistic side of us, because it wants us to be open to a possibility vast as compared to what we have seen before. It wants to open up the opportunities for us, creative inspirations, different way of thinking, depth. We understand what we did not understand before our life. It triggers the subconscious. We have trouble to some extent staying on track because it's nebulous in nature. Mercury in Pisces is very nebulous. It is what creative poets are made of. It's what Lady Gaga is made of. It's what emotions are made of. It's when we speak from our gut. We are not able to explain why we know what we know, but we speak from our gut. But it's a very positive placement. Mercury in Pisces is about positivity. It's about dreaming a dream. It's about driving yourself through, not through worldly aspirations, but through your own internal inspiration. There is a vast difference between the two. So Mercury in Pisces wants you to be inspired about doing what you want to do from your gut, from your within. It doesn't want you to have external impulses driving you towards the direction you're going into. So Mercury in Pisces, when it goes retrograde, it gives you a step back saying, check where you're going. Are you in tune with your dreams? Are you in tune with your philosophy? Are you truly inspired to do what you're about to do? Is it in line with where you think you stand as a person in the bigger picture of the world? Your place in the world is emphasized by the archetype of Pisces. Where do we stand in the bigger world? Where do we stand? Where do we find our place in the world? What you're doing right now, or the way you're showing up to the world, is that how you want to show up as a person? Is that in line with your spiritual values? Is that in line with your faith? Is that in line with what you want to be the meaning of your life? So it's very imaginative, very intuitive, softer lens, ethereal in nature, inspired. There is a possibility beyond reality that we are able to dream during this time, and we should take advantage of that, because there are these brief moments of inspiration that leads us to bigger breakthroughs in our life. Otherwise, we limit our own progress by trying to be too practical about things. These are the moments when a very different part of us is activated, which we do not experience because we limit our own progress by using too much reasoning and logic. There are possibility of mistakes in the left brain functions, because the left brain is sleeping right now to some extent, or at least it has been given the back seat. So when it comes to business communication, when it comes to written communication, when it comes to verbal communication with your clients, with your office, with your colleagues, with the people in your life, you'll find that you might falter a little bit. We might make, we are not exact about our communication here. So details get omitted. Till 9th of March, due to that, you might feel that you really want to make a lot of progress, but maybe the way you're communicating to the people in your surrounding, that is not coming out in the way you want to make things happen. Because that's the time where you need to keep the plans to a little bit to yourself instead of making it public, instead of publishing it, instead of putting it down in paper or in stone, finalizing things. You want to sort of hold back a little bit, because Mars right now has entered Capricorn, and Mars is very, very positive, very happy being in Capricorn. It's exalted in that sign. Because of that, our actions and our ambitions, they are given the right outlet. So we are able to act in a very productive fashion. We are able to do work in a very persistent fashion. Our ambition, our ambitious side of us is given the force to go ahead and make things work. But at the same time, our mind is re-evaluating certain things that have happened over the last 3 months, because of which we are better off doing the work behind the scene to some extent. It doesn't mean that we don't publish anything. It just means that we put the caveat. When we go ahead and do some work, we leave the space to change our mind. We leave the space for review, because there's more information that is coming to light. Take control, take responsibility of your ambition, but control what you are communicating to others at this point in time, and try to give yourself the space that you need, especially till 25th of February, to figure out what else is coming out. Because we are about to lose our stand on old ways of doing things. When Mercury goes retrograde, we are given the chance to change our mind. Change our mind about a decision, about a work we did, about how we handle a situation. We see another way of handling the same situation. We see another way of doing a project. We see another way of writing the same project that we had written up. We are shown a better way of doing things. We find another way of resolving unresolved issues. So because of that, certain old unresolved issues can come to light in form of people coming back in your life, in form of circumstances with people repeating. You will notice things that you might have missed before, dormant issues, unconscious data that you have collected over the course of last 3 months. You will be rethinking, redoing, reorganizing, reassociating with the people in your life. There is a natural process. This is a natural process of flushing out the subconscious or the right brain. Your right brain needs some time during the course of the year, and here it's like an official holiday given to your right brain, given to your left brain, to your analytical mind, and let your right brain drive the train for some time. You want to be not pushing to start things, to sign off papers, to finish off things. You are better off reviewing them at this stage, because there is a need to complete an old undertaking before you seek entrance to what's about to come. Before you put down the seeds of something new, something old needs to be put to rest. This is defined as a point when a man or a woman reaches a threshold in which he may have to pause in order to safeguard the progress ahead. In order for you to go full speed ahead, there's a little bit of pause required. And you'll find that happening till 25th of Feb. And then on 25th of Feb, Mercury is still retrograde. But what happens is that Sun and Mercury will come together. in inferior conjunction. They meet each other. It is said to be a time when Mercury walks on Earth because it comes between Earth and Sun. At 8:45 p.m. on 25th of February Eastern Time, 8:45 p.m., you'll find when these two come together, this is the time to bring home something, bring home the knowledge of experience. Mercury brings home an information and gives you a chance to put down the seed of something new. This is the time when we start anew, when we put down the seed of something new. We have realized something, we have modified a way of handling a situation. We have seen certain information we did not have before, and then this becomes the ideal time to put down the seeds of something new. Our mind is reborn, and so are our emotional impulses and reactions to things. In each pass of Mercury like that, our emotional reactions are matured. And last year as well, we had Mercury going retrograde in this very area of our life, but at a different degree. So between 5th of March to 28th of March in 2019, Mercury went retrograde in the very same area of your life. So you can look at it, and this is the last time till 2026 that area of your life is being reformed. So once we have learned certain lessons, seen certain hidden information in that part of our life, you will find that on 25th of Feb, there's a lot of mental energy to do new. There are a lot of talks, curiosity, motivation to talk, to learn, to travel, to start things up. You would want to go into the next step. And it is the time to start working forward. We will have the ability to act on it because from that moment, Mars, our ambition and our ability to make things happen physically, starts working in positive energy with our mind. So our mind and action, they combine forces. Mercury is in a water sign, Pisces. Mars is in a earth sign, Capricorn. This is earth and water combining their sources. Your imagination, your right brain gets into action. So this is the time when our creative impulses that have come through, or the information from elsewhere that has come through, inspirations that have come through, a dream life that has come to life, we are able to put that all into action, into practical action. And it will feel very fated because North Node is making a positive aspect to all of this. And this will be around 23rd to 27th of February. You'll find between 23rd of February to 27th of February, it's like a speed. Things have a speed of their own. You'll find that things suddenly, something unplugs and starts moving forward. And on 25th of February, when this happens, we move from past review to gathering new resources for the future. So it's the time to, from 25th of February to 9th of March. 9th of March is when Mercury is going direct. From 25th of February to 9th of March is the time when you should be gathering information, testing new territories, exploring what needs to do, what needs to happen. These are new alternatives that you'll start working on. But keep in mind that Mercury is still retrograde right now, so don't commit to things yet. We sign off things after 9th of March. Around 11th of March is a better time to do that. Give it 1 or 2 days for things to finalize, for things to come to pass. From 25th of February to 9th of March, gather information, test new territories, explore alternatives, allow new potentials to grow. There's optimism, there's opportunity to develop without committing to something. But resist the impulse to make major decisions at this time. There is no signing of contracts, or even if you have to sign contracts, sign them by putting clauses in it so you can shift things, provisional clauses. Stay flexible in your commitments at this time. Don't overcommit to things. This is the time when if new business, impulse to start a new business or a job or a major purchase, you have impulse to have a major purchase or investment, you want to take a step back still. You will start putting down the groundwork for it, but it's best not to finalize things. Research, survey, learn, trust. Don't fully mature those ideas yet. Trust that this new beginning is yours, but at this time, you have to give it time to sort of lay down the groundwork from 25th of Feb to 9th of March. After 9th of March, when Mercury goes fully direct, by 11th of March, it sort of gains speed. It is the time to test the untried, market new ideas, forward thrust, with full creative freedom, seize all the opportunities of growth and expansion. Creatively, professionally, personally. Experimental phase. This is the, after 9th of March, it is 47 days of experimental phase, 47 days of forward action. There's inner urge is the motivator here. There's huge amount of excitement, of freedom, experimental phase. Action will be ahead of thought. You'll be flying in face of convention because you want to do the untried. You have thought about something new that you want to do, and now is the time to make it happen. But I have to warn you about the timeline between 23rd to 27th of February, not just because of Mercury retrograde, because that is the time when, we just want to make things happen because of Mercury retrograde now going into the second phase. We sort of know what we want and we want to just make it happen after 25th of February especially. But what is happening on 25th of February as well is that Mars is meeting Ketu. This is a very, very if I may say, unstable kind of aspect. This is an unpredictable aspect. From a global events perspective, something very unpredicted could happen. Something that is unexpected could happen around 25th of February, which can turn the course. Something very karmic could happen. This is a time when tremendous amount of energy comes bursting forth to maintain our power, to maintain our past, to maintain our personal identity. It normally leads to accidents. It leads to arrogant actions. It leads to confrontation. Confrontations globally will come to surface. There'll be increased chances of mechanical breakdowns and malfunctions. The positive side of this is that it gives us enormous courage to follow through on ideas. It gives us enormous courage to think outside the box and follow new ideas and strike out on our own. There's more tendency to take risk, but caution needs to be applied here, especially when it comes to machines, when it comes to mechanical breakdowns, when it comes to driving. We can get in trouble with law because we think that we are beyond law during this time. There is something inside us which is beyond rationality that drives our actions at this time. And globally, we will see some unstable event happen as a result of that, in my view, on 25th of February, that we need to be aware of. This is an exact conjunction that inspired Joan of Arc. It was like a switch that flipped. She was inspired out of nowhere to attack the English. This was the first entry in battle for her, and it produced victory for French. So it doesn't mean that the action inspired here will not lead to success. There is an information that comes out of nowhere, tremendous energy, motivation comes out of nowhere for you to do something, to make tremendous shift in your life. It gives you enormous courage to break through and move to another chapter in your life. But physically, in our physical actions, we want to be careful at this time because we can be reckless. There's a liberation. There's a drive to something from deep within that you'll feel, and it's very, very intense. It's intense determination to move in a given direction, and we don't know from where the inspiration is coming from. It's generated by a deep feeling. Despite all the advice, people will be telling you maybe this is not the direction you should go in, but you know somehow, and you don't know why you know what you know. That is the hallmark of Mercury in Pisces. We don't know why we know what we know. I have this position from natal. I'm a Mercury in Pisces person. You don't know why you know, but you know. And you do not have the patience to explain to somebody why you know this, what is the logic behind it. But in your gut, in your instinct, in your subconscious, you know this is what you need to do, and subconscious impulses translate into conscious actions when this happens. Only thing I'm guiding you to do is be careful that it's not leading you to take risk without logic. We can get in trouble with law here. We can get in trouble if we drive in a fashion which is unsafe for us and others. We can get into unrequired, completely waste of energy confrontation at this time, trying to make others believe in our vision, which will be a waste of breath for you. And this is the activation of a very powerful eclipse that happened on 25th of December. Mars and South Node are meeting at the point where solar eclipse on Christmas last year, 26th of December, happened. This is the activation of that eclipse. Actions are taken here which are very, very fated in nature, which are here to shift your direction. That's why this Mercury retrograde is very, very special, because your intuition will guide you towards certain actions on 25th of February and after, which will bring about what was supposed to come to pass from the solar eclipse of 26th of December in Capricorn. So this is what's happening in my view. In terms of looking at the exact degrees to guide us how this is going to feel like, because degrees tell us how that process will feel like when it goes retrograde, which is around 16th, 17th, 18th of February, and Mercury is hanging around 12 or 13 degree of Pisces. That is a degree of willpower. You would be required to use your willpower in an uncertain situation. It is said that this is one power in man or woman, which is an individual's assurance of victory. It's God's will operating through your mind, through use of your willpower. And so enormous amount of courage would be required for you to look at the situation in a different way to start with when this happens right now. And then when Sun and Mercury meet each other on 25th of February, they're meeting at 7 degree Pisces. It is a degree of individuality. Be free to be yourself. And in the middle of the outer confusion displayed by those surrounding you, you will realize what you truly are as an individual. It implies the worth of a life guided by an inner voice. Manifestation through high degree of self-assertion. So from willpower, using our willpower and our courage, we move to a point where we are instinctively driven to a certain position on 25th of February, and then it drives us to 9th of March to 28th degree of Aquarius, which is intelligent foresight, using both our physical strength and mental ingenuity for future. This is where you will combine your solid physical action with something new and innovative that you've come up with from 25th of February to 9th of March, a new way of doing things. And then from 9th of March, it becomes the time to launch this foresight, to launch this forward-looking idea, to launch something new that you've come up with just now. You will be seizing all opportunities of growth here. So this is what is happening as a result of this Mercury retrograde. Be careful, especially driving around 25th of February, and look out for how this is activating something fated in your soul, fated in your mind, fated in your direction in life. Good luck for that, and I'll see you in the detailed video now. Thank you.